Making his first appearance in Ian Fleming's 1953 book Casino Royale, James Bond, the famous 007 spy, has been a big part of pop culture for almost 70 years. But the book's author recently posted something on their Instagram, which has fans speculating the possibility of a new film with a new Bond. So sit back and relax as we talk about Fleming's Instagram post and the frontrunners tipped to play the next 007 spy. Let's start off with the major announcement around the corner. Looks like a big news story about James Bond will come out on October 5th, which is just over 2 weeks away. Daniel Craig played his titular role of James Bond for the last time this year in No Time to Die, but spoiler alert, Craig's version of the character died in that movie, so everyone's been wondering who will play the next famous spy. Recently, the creator of James Bond, Ian Fleming, posted something to get everyone riled up. Well, not the author himself, he's not with us anymore. Ian Fleming Publications' official Instagram account has posted a picture stating, "An announcement will be made on James Bond Day, October 5th. So it's safe to say, or at least assume, that fans of James Bond will find out in just 2 weeks what the announcement is really about. Moving on, what could the announcement be? It goes without saying that this could be many different things like a new James Bond look, but a lot of fans are saying in the comments that the Instagram post is definitely a hint that the new Bond actor will be revealed on October 5th. We sure hope so. One user said, quote, "I'm going to say that a new James Bond has been announced," and another said, "New Bond Tom Hardy has finally been announced." Tom Hardy as the new Bond would go hard though. But since EON Productions is in charge of making the movies, it's unlikely that the Ian Fleming Publications account would announce who the new Bond actor is. Also, Daniel Craig's official announcement as James Bond in 2005 was at a press conference that took place on a speedboat, not via social media. But again, Instagram didn't exist back then, and the Bond movies are based on Fleming's books, so there is a tiny chance that this announcement could be about the next Bond actor. We can't know for sure what Ian Fleming Publications will show off on October 5th, so we'll just have to wait. So we suggest having a few martinis, shaken not stirred, and watching another Bond movie to pass the time, because that's what we'll be doing. Now, let's take a look at actors tipped to play the next 007 spy. Considering the fact that James Bond is a British character, the next actor to play Bond would also have to be British. As seen through the history of the actors who played the titular character, they all were British. Even though it was known that Daniel Craig's 5th James Bond movie, No Time to Die, would be his last, Tom Hardy was, and still is, a fan favorite. The actor known for his roles in Venom and Mad Max just turned 45. Some fans may think he's too old or too well known to play 007 now, but one thing is for sure, he's got the chops, the aura, and the class to land the role of Mr. Bond. Next, we could also have Idris Elba as the first black James Bond. The British actor, best known for his leading roles in Beasts of No Nation and Pacific Rim, seems to be ahead of Tom Hardy, as Elba is his favorite among critics. The actor's been a part of some of the biggest movies of the last few years, like Thor, The Suicide Squad, and Prometheus, which shows that he would be perfect for the action-packed character of James Bond. But the problem is that the actor just turned 50, and fans are worried about his age, as he may not be able to play the character for a long time. If Elba ends up playing 007, it'll be a huge deal for Hollywood, as he'll be the first black actor to play the role. He could give the role a different spin and make it easier for black actors to get roles in action films. Coming up next, Henry Cavill is still a super frontrunner for the role. The Man of Steel actor, who is 39 years old, is still one of the top choices to play the next James Bond. And rumor has it that when Daniel Craig got the part in Casino Royale, Cavill was heavily interested in the role at the time as well. In an interview last year, he said that time will tell if he'll be the next actor to play the famous role of James Bond. Superman added that we never know where they're going to go with Bond, so he likes to say that everything's always on the table. He also told GQ in 2020 that if the chance came up, he would jump at it with both feet. Damn, looks like he's really wanting to be James Bond. Without a doubt, films like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Mission Impossible Fallout has shown how charming Cavill is. and that he can certainly perform all the action and stunts required to play Mr. Bond. Here's to hoping Cavill lands the role, we guess. Finally, we have the period drama actor Reggie Jean Page. Even though Reggie Jean Page has in the past played down rumors that he could be the next James Bond, he's still one of the top choices to play the role. The British actor is best known for his role in Bridgerton as the Duke of Hastings, and because of the show, the actor has become an instant rising star in Hollywood. He's also going to play Simon Templar in a new movie version of the British spy thriller series, The Saint, just like the third Bond, Sir Roger Moore. We think Page might use one of his upcoming projects to test to see if he has what it takes to be the next James Bond. Seems like it's the battle of the fittest for the role of the 007 agent, but one thing's for sure, we can't wait for the official announcement to drop on the 5th of October. In other related news, a James Bond actor axed from live show. Australian Bond fans were thrilled when it was announced earlier this year that the best symphony orchestras in Australia would play the music from James Bond movies live on stage during a concert tour. It was also said that George Lazenby, the Australian actor who played James Bond in the 1969 movie on Her Majesty's Secret Service, would show up at each show and talk about his time as James Bond. The tour, called Concertworks Presents The Music of James Bond, started on September 3rd in Sydney, Australia, and everything seemed to go smoothly, but the third show on the tour has caused quite a stir, and Lazenby is in the middle of it all. During the show, Lazenby made homophobic, misogynistic, and racist comments and told inappropriate stories about past sexual conquests, making the audience uncomfortable. According to a representative from Concertworks, Lazenby won't be at the last show of the tour, which will take place this weekend in Melbourne, mainly due to many complaints about comments Lazenby made at the Perth show. Well, seems like Mr. Bond needs some sensitivity training. Next up, Daniel Craig recalls Queen Elizabeth II being very funny. At the late night show with Stephen Colbert, the 54-year-old actor from Chester talked about meeting the Queen for the comedy sketch at the dramatic opening ceremony of the London 2012 Olympics. In the sketch, Daniel Craig's James Bond goes to Buckingham Palace, where the Queen sits at a desk and says, "Good evening, Mr. Bond." Then they fly over London and the Olympic Stadium before the Queen's stunt double parachutes into the arena. Stephen, the show's host, asked Craig what the 96-year-old monarch was really like when no one's watching, to which Craig replied that the Queen was very funny and that she wanted to make a joke about him. He also mentioned that when they took a picture, she said, "Oh no, he's the one who doesn't smile." Quite a humorous Queen she was. Lastly, Daniel Craig doesn't plan on stopping with the Knives Out movies. Even though there isn't a script for the third movie, the smart Southern private eye, Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig, made it clear at the festival that he's already ready to play the role again in the future. When asked about the future of the widely acclaimed franchise installments, Craig expressed that if Rian Johnson keeps writing them, he'll keep doing them. Someone sounds excited. As for the film's premiere on the TIFF on September 10th, it was met with high praise from critics. And with that, the sequel to the first film, Glass Onion, is set to release on December 23rd on Netflix after its time in theaters worldwide. That's all for this video. Do you think the major announcement will be about the next Bond? And who do you think's finally going to land the role? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.